All right, guys, here we go. Front Row Fight Club 2 face-to-face. We have the main event of the evening here. The two gentlemen, Walel the Pharaoh, aka used to be the Gazelle. We'll get into that, I'm sure, in this interview. Watson, UFC veteran, real tough game opponent. Great to see you, man, taking on hometown boy Tariq Ismail. He's getting some training down at TriStar right now. Good to see you, Tariq. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. So November 17th, this main event goes down in Toronto at Rebel. First off, want to say thank you both. You guys have been a pleasure to work with, but let's hop right into the good stuff here. And Tariq, I'm going to start with you, man. You've never fought professionally in Toronto. I don't even think you've had an amateur fight in Toronto, you know, family, friends. I know you're out in Montreal training and stuff right now, but to be able to come back in front of your people, man, is that something you're looking forward to and excited about?
Yeah, very much. I'm very much looking forward to be back in the six and having my first pro fight out here. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
That's awesome. And Walel, you've actually fought in Toronto, I think 3 prior times or 2 prior times?
2 times.
Two times on both John Jones cards, 2 of the 3. That's right. So you're familiar with fighting in Toronto. You get to come back. What's one thing about the city and about the country that you kind of were able to take in during those fights?
I mean, the vibe, man, ain't nothing like the Canadian fans. You guys rock the joint. You know what I mean? When I came out, I really enjoyed that vibe. The crowd was behind the fight the entire time. You know, I got some boos, but I feed off of that, man. I'm used to traveling all over the world, and I'm always the guy that everybody wants to lose. So I love that.
That's awesome.
So, Tariq, you have gone the distance in all of your professional fights, and Walel has not gone the distance since 2013. How do you see this fight going? Do you think this one goes the distance?
I mean, you never know. You can never really predict these type of things, right? It's a fight. I'm sure we're both game. We're coming to fight, but you know, we're in the fight business. We both try to finish at least the fight. So whether it goes the distance or not, I know one thing is I will have my hand raised.
And Walel, I'll give you the same question there.
You know, to kind of touch back what Tariq's saying, you know, we're both game fighters. We both bring the fight. I think the big difference with me is I'm going to force a finish out of him or out of me. One of us is going to finish. You know what I mean? Yeah, I haven't gone the distance since 2013, but that's because every time I go the distance, I get robbed. So for me, I'm going to die on my shield. I'm going to come out. Either I'm going to kill or be killed. And that's my mentality that I carry when I fight. And, you know, I don't expect Tariq to do anything less than that when I come forward. I know he's going to do the same thing. So it's It's a fight that I'm excited about. And, you know, I'm intrigued with his style. I know he comes from a great team. You know, I'm familiar with TriStar. I'm familiar with Coach Furros. It's somebody I've always admired and looked up to and I've had communication with in the past. And I actually looked at coming to TriStar a couple of years back before I met Antonio. And, you know, so I know this is going to be a good fight. I know this is the fight that could easily be in the UFC, him and I.
Yeah, exactly. You both come from these great storied gyms, you know, obviously TriStar and everything they've done in Canada. And like you said, for us is a world level coach. And then you hooking up with Antonio McKee and just all the studs that have come out of that and everything. But I'll start with you, Tariq. You move over to TriStar. How's that been for you? And just what's it like, you know, being under a Firas Zahabi and having all those, you know, just a group of killers to train with every day?
Yeah, I mean, if you follow my career, you know that I've been with TriStar since 18, 19 years old. I've come and go all the time. It's just I don't speak French and I can never get a job out here in Quebec. So I'm usually out in Ontario most of the time working. And no, I have a great relationship with Coach Firas. He's always in my corner, always have an open door policy with him at the gym. And I've had a lot of great training partners out there for this camp and for previous camps that we've prepared for. So I'm very much looking forward to showcasing my style with a sprinkle of what TriStar has to add to that.
That's awesome. And Walel, obviously being under Antonio McKee, what's that been like since you've had up to that gym? And what differences has that put in your game to where you think like, this is a big fight for you to take and you're a veteran of the game. Why is this a good spot for you to continue on that career and get back to where you know you deserve to be, which is in the top promotion?
I mean, with Coach Antonio, man, he really makes you look at yourself every day. A lot of coaches kind of just go through the motions, and he don't do that. Every day that you come in, he really makes you check yourself at the door. He makes you check yourself before you leave that door. And that's why I stayed with him these last 6 years. He's really rounded up my game. I came here with a lot of holes, even being a veteran, even being a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I still had a lot of holes in my game, and he don't play that, man. If he sees a hole, he's on you about it. Even my last bare knuckle fight that I had, I fought a flawless fight and I made one mistake and I paid for it. And he was on my head for it the next day. He let me, lick my wounds that night. But the next day he was on my head. Why are you making those mistakes that we work so hard on, And that's why, I look up to Antonio and I stick with him. And, he's somebody that could really take a fighter and take him to the top, you know what I mean? And same thing with Coach Faraz, those, in my opinion, those are the two best coaches in the game. It's Faraz and Coach Antonio. There's nobody better than those two,
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Tariq, you have a little bit more comfort here because you haven't fought in Canada since 2018. Now you're back in Canada. How is that more comfortable, and how does that change your training? And does it make it easier not having to go overseas for this one?
2018, I don't even remember me fighting in Canada 2018. Who did I fight in 2018?
Oh, let's see.
Was it Terry Lemaire?
I don't think so.
Was that I think that was close to 2015, maybe. It's been a long time since I fought in Canada.
Or TKO against Manny Alfaro? Those are the two fights that stuck out to me.
Yeah, it was Manny Alfaro.
Yeah, okay.
It was Manny, yeah. What was the question? Sorry, how does it feel?
How does it feel to be like back in Canada? Does it change the training at all? Does it make it easier not having to go overseas?
Yeah, man, it does. It sucks to take those long ass flights. I know when I fought my previous organization at Brave, it was 26 hours to fly out to South Africa, 23 hours to Abu Dhabi and shit. And they fly you out maybe 4 or 5 days before you're cutting weight in the airplane, and you gain extra weight while you come down from the plane. It's not exciting. I like it here. I have my home cooked meals and everything's relaxed and friends and family here and good training. So no, I'm very much happy and very grateful to this organization to have this opportunity.
Awesome.
In Walel, you also have a little bit more comfort here, I would assume. You're making your return to MMA for the first time since 2019, having gone the bare knuckle boxing route. Is it easier to train, or do you feel more confident in the cage as opposed to the ring?
I mean, for me, it's weird. Being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you'd think I'd be more comfortable in the cage, but I love boxing. I grew up around boxing, and for me, bare knuckle is like as real as it gets. So it don't matter for me. A fight is a fight. We could kickbox, we could box, we could jiu-jitsu, we could MMA, we could wrestle. It doesn't really matter for me. I've been in the game 14 years now, a long time. And at this point, if you're not a well-rounded fighter, if you can't hit all disciplines, you probably should step out. And that's why I'm still in the game. I'm still real successful at the things that I do. And I know I still bring the fight, and I know the fight can finish at any moment with me because I got great submissions and I got great stand-up.
Yeah, absolutely. Two well-rounded guys here. Tariq, you're coming in, same age group as myself, 1990. This is a huge fight, UFC veteran. You get this win in Toronto. Where do you think that does for the trajectory of your career? You'll move to 7-1. Would you be expecting to get a call from somewhere like a Dana White's Contender Series or another organization? Or are you kind of still going to maybe stick it out with Brave? Because I know, the travel might suck, but they certainly are up there and compensating with some of the greatest organizations on the planet.
I really don't care. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care. Paulo, give me 1 second. I'm just in a meeting.
Take your time. I need to grab some food there.
Sure.
It's 3 o'clock.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. Sorry, my boss just walked in. I had to talk to him. But guys, listen, I really don't care. I really don't care about the sport at all. I really do not care. I'm just here because I want to fight. That's it. That's plain and simple. I just want to fight. I want to be able to express myself in that cage, and I want to be able to just see what I'm made out of. Walel is a great opponent, game opponent. Like he said, he's going to bring the fight one way or the other. There will be a finish that happens. I'm very much looking to that type of fight. I love that type of fight. So I'm really excited for November 17th. But what happens next, I can care less about that.
I love it. I love it. And Walel, obviously, one of the top bantamweights in all of Canada. Big W here. You plan on sticking in MMA, or is it just like you said, it doesn't matter if it's a fight, it's a fight, you'll take an opportunity? Or is this like this MMA fight the plan to continue to kind of level yourself up in MMA?
Same thing, man. Like, I don't care. At this point in my career, I'm in it just to fight. You know what I mean? I know I don't have that many years left, unfortunately, even though I want them. And it's mostly because now I'm also coaching with Antonio, and I'm helping this next generation. You know, I'm in charge of the amateur team, and at some point, those guys aren't going to be amateurs no more. I'm going to have to, help move their careers forward and be there with them, side by side. So it's not going to be about me much longer. So it don't matter if I get a call from another big show. I come back, fight for you guys. I go back bare knuckle. I'm just going to throw these hands and slap on these submissions while I still got an opportunity to.
That kicks ass. That's awesome.
So, Tariq, you think this fight's going to get finished? Well, you think this fight's going to get finished? Tariq, do you think this fight gets finished on the feet or on the ground?
I mean, if you look at the history, there's finishes for him both sides, feet and the ground, and he's been finished on the feet and the ground. So I think that's why it's a very exciting fight. It can finish either place. For me, I would really appreciate it to be finished on the standing. I love that. It's exciting for the fans, and it would be a nice first finish of my professional career to have it that way. But I'm very well rounded anywhere this fight goes. So if I choose to take it to the ground, or if we end up on the ground somehow, I'm very capable there as well.
And Walel, what's your prediction? Feet or on the ground?
Oh man, with me, you never know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Because like Tariq said, I could do it either way, and he could do it either way. So I really feel like this is gonna be a great fight for the fans. I think the fans are in for a treat with this one, because you're gonna be on the edge of your seat. You've never seen a Walel Watson fight that didn't have you on the edge of your seat. Even when I was losing, I still had you on the edge of your seat because I'm exciting. I'm coming in. I'm coming to finish. I'm coming to kill. So that just makes an exciting fight. And when you fight me, it's a fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be a fight. We're going to fight. We're going to get on the ground. We're going to stand up. It's just going to happen, because that's just what's going to happen in a fight. I'm not just a pure stand-up guy where I'm going to shy away from the ground. I'm not just a ground guy where I'm just going to be shooting. I'm going to fight, and where the opportunities present itself, I'm going to take it. And I believe he's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Walel, you were talking about coaching the next generation, and Tariq, I look at you as a veteran in this game too. What do you notice working with the amateurs, Walel? Maybe that is a little different from the time that you came into this game. Is there anything that you kind of have to adjust that maybe were different on ways that you had it going up, that as opposed to how these guys got it going up now?
I mean, the fact that they even have amateurs. When I came in the game, there was no amateur. I came from playing football, and the next 30 days later, I was on a plane in Mexico going to fight with no training under my belt, and I was 0-1 as a pro out of nowhere. And then I had to figure out how to do things from there. So I think the fact that I get to walk these guys through the ringer, and we get to build them up, each fight getting tougher and tougher, and I get to show them my mistakes. I think that's one of the best things about my career is I didn't just have a full-on successful career. I wasn't undefeated. I wasn't just walking around a world champion out the gate. I've had a roller coaster ride in my career. I've had my ups, I've had my downs, and I get to show them how not to do it and how to do it. And my not to do it are the examples of my L's. When I do get dropped or I do get submitted, I'd be like, look, I did it this way, and this is what happened to me. So now I get to really guide these guys. And one of the guys I'm coaching right now, he's a 2-time champion already as an amateur. And he's learning from my mistakes, and I get to really, build him up off of the errors that I made. And I'm excited about that. It's a whole nother feeling to see your product and your work and your knowledge come to life in the cage or the ring in front of you.
And then Tariq, obviously you've been around the game a long time. Do you have any kids or any young guys you kind of mentor through? Is that important to you in your journey as a martial artist?
I love to give back to the community, so I'm always here and willing to help all the new generation, the amateurs, and some of the pros as well. Um, I don't have, as much coaching experience as probably YL does. He's been in the game a little bit longer. But listen, at the end of the day, we're going to fight November 17th, whether it's, that coaching experience or fighting experience. I'm really looking forward to this date.
Yeah. So are we. Can't wait.
Tarek, I've seen in interviews leading up to your last fight, you said people haven't seen your complete game yet. Have we seen your complete game? And if not, what more can we expect to see from you?
I think just tune in November 17th and find out. It's as simple as that. Every fight is a new, evolved type of fighter. So I'm very young. I've never taken much damage in my career. I think I've taken more damage in the gym than in a fight. And, I'm very much looking forward to the type of style that YL brings forward and who is going to be the aggressor in this fight. I'm very much looking forward to who is going to be the aggressor and how that's going to pan out.
Well, I've noticed through watching your last couple fights, your jab has really evolved, and you've been using it not only offensively but defensively, and are able to set up that uppercut. Has boxing helped you in mixed martial arts as well?
Oh, definitely. Boxing, I mean, the fight starts standing up and having a jab, a good jab is very important. I think I was blessed before I got with Antonio. I trained under Tiger Smalls and he's one of the best jabbers in the world. So I picked up a really solid jab from him and my jab's only gotten better since then. So yeah, I use my jab for defensively, offensively, and it's one of my best weapons for sure.
Absolutely. Well, like Tariq said, November 17th, you got to tune in and find out. Front Row Fight Club 2, live from Rebel Nightclub, guys. Ticket link is down below. Gentlemen, I know everybody's got a busy day. Tariq, you got the suit on. Boss is coming in, asking questions. I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time, but I do want to say and give each of you guys a second here. Is there like any sponsors, any coaches, anybody you want to give a thank you to, give a shout out to? Hell, if you're like, Kanye West, maybe you want to give a shout out to yourself for working so damn hard. Tariq, we'll start with you first.
Yeah, I'm not going to go the Kanye route.
Especially these days, yeah.
Even though I like him a lot. But no, I want to give a shout out to my gym, TriStar Gym. Thank you so much, Coach Faraz Zahabi and the whole team there for preparing me for camp. I want to give a shout out to the company I'm working at right now, Layton, Canada, one of the best tax prep companies out there in the world. And just thanks to the promotion. Thank you guys for having this fight night, and to my city that's going to be present. I'm really looking forward to putting on a stellar performance. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. And we'll end it off with you. Well, anybody out there you need to thank, sponsors, anybody like that?
Of course, I want to thank Coach Antonio for always being on my side and, helping build me up and giving me all these new tools that I've been, working on these last 6 years. I want to thank my family, my wife, and my kids, always having my back. They're my biggest supporters at the end of the day. Without them, I don't even know where I'd be right now. So, without them, I'd be lost, honestly. So thanks to my wife, Emily, and my two little sons, two little balls of energy, the amateur team that I'm training, those guys under me, they help build me up every day because, like I said, when you see your product come to life in front of your eyes, it's a whole different kind of feeling, you know what I mean? And, thanks to you guys bringing me out, giving me another chance to come to Toronto and get a W this time. My game plan is to leave with a W. I don't want to go 0-3 in Toronto. So, I'm excited about everything. Shout out to Tariq. I know he's going to come out and bring the fight come November 17th. And like I said, this could easily be a UFC fight on any card, on any main card. And we're going to bring the fight, man. The fans are in for a treat. They're getting a special treat with the two of us in there because we're two guys that are real game are really going to bring the fight November 17th.
That's it. November 17th, one of the best cards you'll see in Ontario goes down from Rebel, guys. Hit the tickets. Walel, Tariq, thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you in November. Take care.
All right, fellas. See y'all soon.